All right, welcome to this section on all of the things you can find at zoom.us, including settings and some other interesting information. So you want to log in to zoom.us for important information. You can, in your profile, find your virtual meeting room ID. You can schedule and edit meetings. You can access your recordings. You can confirm and change your room settings, and you can view and download meeting reports. So I'm going to show you how to do each of these things in this little video. So at zoom.us, you can sign in. And then you'll notice that you have these different opportunities on the left, beginning with your profile. One of the most important things about your profile is it is where you find your room address. This is the permanent address of your Zoom room. I say it's permanent, but then I'll also let you know that you can edit it if you want to. A best practice is to change this to your phone number. That way, if people know the beginning of the Zoom address, then they can finish the rest of the address with your phone number. Or if they're ever just needing to enter a number for a meeting and they know your number, they can enter your phone number. You'll see I have mine set to my number here. Another interesting part of your profile is that you can actually upload a photo. As you probably know, if you're in a Zoom room and you're not showing your video, then Zoom will show your name, but you can also show your photo. That is just one more step towards people getting to see a little bit more of a face-to-face if they can't see you in person. All right, let me talk about meeting settings. You can schedule meetings by clicking schedule a new meeting. And I won't walk you through all of those steps. They're pretty self-explanatory. I will point out one thing. When you schedule a new meeting, you have the opportunity, we'll scroll down here, show you in the middle of the page. You have the opportunity to automatically generate a new meeting ID, or you can use your personal meeting ID. Either one is fine. Generating automatically gives you a little more security. It lets only people who have that link into your meeting. Whereas if you've given out your personal meeting ID to several people, then people might pop in and out of your room whenever they want to. So that gives you some options there. Again, if you're doing a meeting and you want to control who's in the room, then you might want to generate automatically. If you really want to be strict about who's in the room, you can also require a meeting password. The only other thing I'll point out about setting a meeting is that once you have saved the meeting, then you can copy the meeting invitation over here on the right hand side of the page. Copy that invitation information, open up a new mail, outgoing mail, and paste that right into the outgoing mail and send that to whoever you want to. All right. We don't have to worry about webinars with our account, but you might want to look for a recording sometime. If you have recorded to the cloud, this is where your recording is going to be. I'm going to talk more about recordings in another video, but again, if you do use the cloud, here's where your cloud recording is going to be. The settings tab is the one that I do want to spend a little more time on. So you'll notice across the top you've got 3 tabs: meeting settings, recording settings, and telephone settings. So I'm not going to read all of these to you, but I just do want you to visit this place in your account. There are a lot of decisions that you can make about your virtual meeting room. You can start meetings with host video on or off, depending on whether or not you've clicked that radio button. And like I said, I'm not going to read all of these to you, but I do want to point out a few things. I am going to scroll. You can choose to mute participants upon entry. You can choose to turn the chat function on or off. You can also choose for the private chat option to be on or off. As you see, there's all kinds of meeting settings, and you want to spend time with this and make the choices that are best for you. I do recommend adding polling. Polling can be an exciting way to engage your participants. I also like enabling a co-host. That way, if you want to turn the controls over to somebody in a meeting, you can do that. You might want to control your screen share and decide who can share, only the host or all participants. Just depends on what your needs are. You might want to be the only person who annotates using the annotation tools that we talked about in a previous video, or you might want to turn that function on for everybody in the room. It just depends on what your needs are. All right, like I said, I'm not going to point out everything here, but you do want to spend some time deciding what works best for your room. The last thing I'll point out is that if you do want the breakout room option, this is where you would select that radio button. I'm going to scroll back up to the top, and I'm going to click on the Recordings Settings tab. So again, I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you do have choices about local recording, which means when you are recording to your actual computer, and cloud recording, which means you are recording to the Zoom cloud that belongs to our entire group. I'm going to talk more about recordings in another video. And then you have telephone settings. You'll see there's not too many options here. Okay, the last thing I want to point out is the reports tab over here on the left. One of the most important things that I use this reports tab for is if I want to view poll reports. I'm in the meeting report area, and I don't want to look at a registration report. I want to look at a poll report because I did a poll in that meeting and I want a record of those poll results. So I clicked poll result report and then search. And here are my results. And to get that report, I'm going to click the word generate. And it's going to generate a report. And then I'm going to download it. All right, so that is information that you can find at zoom.us. Send any ideas or questions you have about this video to online.learning@nscc.edu. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.